Hello everyone, it's old Guardian here. Guardian Druid has taken over the Hearthstone metagame by a storm in Scholomance Academy, and in this video I'm going to take a look at my take on the archetype and show you how to play it effectively. Early in Scholomance Academy there has been considerable doubt on what is the best way to build the deck. Guardian Animals of course is a key part of the deck, as are Twilight Runners and Teacher's Pets, but what else do you put in? Do you go with the Kael'thas and the Survival of the Fittest? Do you go with Mount Sellers? Do you go with the Dragon package? What sort of deck should be built? And now after a couple of days we start to have enough statistics to separate the wheat from the chaff, and we can quite confidently say that Guardian Animals, Survival of the Fittest and Kael'thas Sunstrider is the way to build the deck. I tried the Dragon package list, I tried the Mount Seller list. I wasn't quite happy with either of those, but I had spectacular success with this one. In my version of the deck I run 2 copies of Lake Treasure. I just had so many games where Guardian Animals turned out to be a dead card or just couldn't pull enough stuff, and the Lake Treasures really help you stabilize against more aggressive decks, because if you pull a treasure from Guardian Animals it just wipes that board very quickly. I also really like running Speaker Ghidra. Speaker Ghidra has spell burst that gives it buff depending on the cost of the spell, so typically you don't want to use it with a discounted spell. Discounted spells don't count, so if you have a Kael'thas and you cast a 0 mana Survival of the Fittest, then that is no buff at all. But overall Speaker Ghidra helps you stabilize a little bit in the early game. Then that consistency with the Guardian Animals, good pulls from there. Kael'thas Sunstrider, just so many ways to get good Kael'thas turns. And then there's Isera Unleashed and those dragons also still as another win condition should you run out of stuff otherwise. Survival of the Fittest can also be used as a Savage Roar type of spell. It is +4 attack, so if you already have a board, you play Survival of the Fittest, then that board suddenly becomes much bigger and you can find lethals that way. In the early game you're mostly looking for ramp and nature studies. Nature studies is a spectacular card, discover a spell, discounts your next spell by 1, and that effect carries over multiple turns. So you're often in a position where you play nature studies on 1, then you hero power on 2, and then you play overgrowth on 3. Because it now costs 3 mana, you haven't cast any other spells after nature studies, so the discount has stayed with you. Or you play nature studies on 1 into wild growth on 2, into overgrowth on 3. That's just great ways to ramp with this deck. In the mulligan you're typically looking for exactly that: nature studies, wild growth, overgrowth, then Guardian Animals and Kael'thas Sunstrider. And with those tools you can look forward to really huge swing turns. Kael'thas turns can be really sick now that there's both Innervate and Lightning Bloom in the deck. There's so much 0 cost things in the deck. You can get like 2 or even 3 expensive spells off 1 Kael'thas, which means like Guardian Animals, Survival of the Fittest and Overflow. So yeah, that can just be crazy. Definitely one of the craziest archetypes in the early Scholomance Academy meta, and after trying out all the different variants, I like this one the best. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get notifications when new videos come. I also stream live on Twitch 6 days a week, so check down below for a link to my Twitch channel. And now, let's go take a look at Guardian Druid in action. With our newly enhanced, no longer running Mount Sellers list. Or maybe it's worse list now. Who can tell? Maybe it's the Kael'thas and Survival of the Fittest that should have been cut. Well, I have Wild Growth and I have Overgrowth. And then I have Guardian Animals. Lightning Blooming Wild Growth now doesn't really do anything. Then I still have to wait a turn to Overgrowth. It's a 2 warlock. Alright. Oh, here comes the coin Wild Growth. That's going to be followed by Overgrowth, and then there will be Guardian Animals, and if I can pick a treasure from that. The treasures are good against these sort of aggressive decks. Too bad that I already drew one. That wasn't what I wanted. There's 1 treasure left. If I can pick up the treasure, it's going to whack a bunch of these 2 minions. Lordkeeper Polkelt. Why is there a Polkelt in that deck? What is that accomplishing? I do not know. Do I want to play Nature Studies before I play Guardian Animals? No, I think I'm fine. Two teacher's pets. Fine, I guess. Get rid of some of the more intimidating minions from there. But what is the Polkelt doing in the Warlock deck? I do not know. Oh, that was a good roll. That was a great roll. Is it there to ensure, like, Tekan? Or Flesh Giant? What is the story here? I just don't know. But I guess we're about to find out. I probably need to kill the lackeys just in case there is a Tekan. Because there could be a Tekan. There totally could be a Tekan. So I want to kill all the lackeys. If I kill all the lackeys... Because if there's a Cable Rat, then there is a Tekan, right? Tekan and Gandling. What is the path to success here?
So many contradictions.
I need to overflow, don't I? I need to kill all of the lackeys. I have the option to play the treasure. I'll give the treasure a try. Should have played Nature Studies too. I was a little too slow there. Because the treasure is a major threat. The Warlock has to handle it. So that will take some of the minions. And now with the lackeys killed... Alright. Oh, a Kael'thas. That is one sweet card.
Energy, power. My people are addicted to it.
Starfall, maybe? Could be Starfall. But now it's the overflow. Let's do that first. I picked up all the beasts. I actually picked up all the beasts. Well, I need to deal damage to that. I need to deal damage to it again. Then I have to Starfall, so that I can kill the Gandling. And I need to Innervate, so that I can Hero Power, so that I can clear the entire board. Hitting Crystal Power here would have meant that I could have Hero Power to Gandling, so I would have taken 1 damage less. Valdris Felgorge, really? That's not something you see every day. I wonder what that Warlock deck has. I do wonder what that Warlock deck has in it. Well, I've killed all the lackeys that were generated so far, and I killed the Gandling. There's probably going to be some Flesh Giants, right? And I would expect a Tekan. Guardian Animals doesn't do anything, but Survival of the Fittest does. What is in that Warlock deck? Why is there a Valdris Felgorge in it? I just don't know. We have entered the meme lands. There's the Tekan. I was playing around Tekan the best I could.
Double time and double pay.
That Guardian Animals unfortunately is not going to do anything. Does this have to die? Not necessarily, because I can play Overgrowth. And I get the excess mana, and I can play the excess mana, which will make my next spell free. That wasn't the spell I wanted though. It really wasn't the spell. So I suppose the Twilight Runner will have to die to draw me more cards. Now there's a freeze spell that I like. 7 cards in hand. I can play the treasure on the board, right? Treasure on the board, Kael'thas trades, overflow. Iron Bark, survival of the fittest. That, I believe, is what I wanted to do here. Alright, now I have this 9/13 cleaver on the board. What does the warlock deck have? More 4/4s. Fine. And a 2/6. Very well. The Lightning Bloom Bock Beam allows me to do another survival of the fittest. I don't have any card draw here. 18 plus 8 is 26 damage. So I do not have lethal. Do I still go for it, overplaying the Ysera? I might. Lightning Bloom. Book Beam. Survival of the fittest. In the speaker Ghidra. And these empty Guardian animals. So the speaker can trade away a couple of minions there. And these can push 26 damage to face. And I don't believe this warlock deck has an answer to a board like this. It might, I would be genuinely surprised. But I don't think it does. Excellent. We don't moderate this chat room usually. Because people don't fight here. For the most part anyway. Ah! A Kael'thas. And the survival of the fittest. All I need is some ramp, and then I would also need to live a while. Can I accomplish those things?
The fires of vengeance burn bright.
Probably want to hero power there. Next turn I want to hero power this one away, and I want to crystal power the battle mage. If there is no taunt minion. 0 mana, Zephyrus can give powered shield. So now I actually can't get rid of the Kolek. So I need to change the plans a little bit. I will need to kill that Zephyrus here. I may still need to hero power into the Kolek. That gives me more potential ways to kill it in the future. So now we're up against the Highlander Hunter, and my draw is miserable. Both survivals of the fittest, Kael'thas, 2 beasts, no ramp, no guardian animals. This can get tough. And that Kolek is actually being the star player here. Killing the Kolek removes 3 attack from the current board. I believe that needs to be done. This hero power is just going face. I don't think hitting into either of those is beneficial right now. Then I have the option to play the Teacher's Pet or the Twilight Runner. But there could be a... What if there's a Rottnest Drake? Oh dear, so much pressure. And I haven't had any ramp or anything. Oh, if I only had 10 damage already here. I have to play the Twilight Runner. That's not quite the start that you expect from a Highlander Hunter. So now I need to roll very high next turn or I will die. Alright, 6 cards in hand. This one goes there, draws a couple of cards. What can I pick up? I pick up the Guardian Animals. I can't do that with Kael'thas, I don't have the spells. There are 2 treasures and a teacher's pet in the deck. So I'm guaranteed at least 1 treasure. Which means that this is Lightning Bloom. Into Guardian Animals. Picking up 2 treasures. 2 treasures means a board clear. So I wipe the board, but I'm at 8 health. Hunter might find the tools. I have 5 mana next turn. I can play a taunt so that I cannot be killed with a Bran. That could have tutored the Zixoprime now. I have to play the taunt because I don't want to die to Bran. Next turn I will have 8 mana, which is not quite enough. There could be a Zixoprime, remember? Can't play 2 spells with the Kael'thas. Oh dear. Do I need to hold back spells for Kael'thas? That Varanus was so good. And if that pulled the Zixoprime, that's going to be a big problem. I think I have to do it like this. There's still this one to stop Bran, but it's the Zixoprime that's coming now if it's in hand. But it could also be like an evasive worm. It was the Zixoprime. This setup gave me the most to fight against the Zixoprime. It's still possible that there is Bran next. If I don't pick up a cheap spell from Nature Studies, I can't do the Kael'thas.
Contradictions.
Energy, power. My people are addicted to it.
Phew. Maybe it could work. Let's see.
The fires of vengeance burn bright.
Demon hunting. Very well, very well. I have Guardian Animals here. Perhaps keeping the Kidro wasn't useful. In the end, perhaps it wasn't. So I really want to get to those Guardian Animals. Right now I can play one on turn 5. The faster I can play one, the better. Can't afford to spend coins or innervates. Unless of course I draw Kael'thas, then I can afford to do a lot of things. I could sacrifice Ghidra to kill the Battle Fiend. playing Coin and Innervate to give Ghidra. Then I'm so committed to that. I won't get to the Guardian Animals in a long time. Otherwise I'm only 2 turns away from it. Because if I play Coin important first because of the spell burst, then Ghidra and Ironbark, then Ghidra would get +3/+5 from the Ironbark. So it would be a 4/9 taunt. But then I can't do anything for a while. So I'm going to do 4/5 after it kills these. I think I can't afford to do that. I think Ghidra will be spent here just to kill the Battle Fiend. But I could have killed both of these and have a 4/5 on the board. But then I wouldn't be able to do anything. With the current hand I wouldn't be able to do anything for 3 turns. It would take 4 turns actually to get to do things. That would be a long time. Whereas now it's only 2 turns. Well, with that top deck, I would have been golden. But we'll see. This is still not too bad. Unless that is Outcast Glide, which removes my... which just removed both copies of Guardian Animals that I had. Then it might be a problem. I don't find anything that I can do with Kael'thas either. But if I place around 2 spells, I can't do anything. I'm just going to have to heal myself here. I will need a big draw next turn to be combined with the Kael'thas. Playing Kael'thas into that Ace Hunter doesn't do much. Well, that was unlucky, I would say. And that is not the top deck I needed, so I died.
Victory is yours.
If it does an unlikely thing once. Now, if we can see that Glide is going to be able to do that consistently, then we can start saying, okay, Glide is actually a card. Hi, Webform.
Curious.
I want to go turn 3 Overgrowth. Yeah, I do.
Sands of time run low.
Is Starfall going to be useful? Unlikely. Moonfire is much more likely to be useful. Yeah, but I mean, come on. Don't troll. It's not that fun. But I thought that here mainly we're just chilling, watching the games, playing a little bit of Hearthstone, looking how we lose to total random rolls, winning with total random rolls, and just enjoying it all, maybe. Have I made a high legend push recently? No, Wombat. I have not. I need to play the stealth minion. I can't afford to play the treasure. Not in this matchup. In this kind of position. I can play the nature studies if I happen to find... No, not one of these. I was thinking if I happen to find the Guardian Animals from that, that would be useful.
We must stop this corruption.
Oh, it's the dragon version. Intriguing. Oh, I suppose I want to give this fellow a little bit of health here. So that it doesn't unnecessarily die. It's going to die next turn anyway though, but still. +2 held on that. 7 cards in hand. I'm going to hit over there. I'll go to 9 cards. I'm able to block beam that one away. I might as well restore 5 health to this one. As well as play another one. Alright. Now as a 5/6, if there's your standard Guardian animals, 4 5s and 5 4s, yeah, you need to hit both in to kill that. I have a lot of additional mana here, but I don't have a single payoff card. No Guardian animals, no survival of Fittest, no overflow. There are 6 copies overall of those in the deck, but none of them have chosen to appear as of yet. Was there a main deck Starfire? Is this like a Highlander Druid?
Like a fungus we spread.
It's some kind of Malygos deck, maybe. Intriguing. Well, I want to pull those minions from the deck, regardless. And then I want to attack with this, because I didn't want to draw these accidentally first. 8 cards in hand. And none of them are any good. But none of them cost any mana either. If this druid doesn't kill these minions and I find a survival of the fittest, who knows what's going to happen here. So this looks like some kind of Malygos combo deck. But there's the dragon in hand too, so where does the satyr discount land? Unless the dragon is played, of course. Then it can be controlled better. I had the option to Ironbark that to deny possibly being killed. Ah, oh dear. Kidra getting to work. But left the treasure alive. That's something. That would be an overflow. So I think I want a big Ghidra of my own this turn. 9 cards in hand. How many cards do I need to play before the overflow? I need to play 3 cards, right? There's not enough mana to... no. Do I play the Ironbark? Yeah, I do. So it's Ironbark. Then it's an Innervate. Then it's the Ghidra. And then it's the overflow. Buff that Ghidra by +7/+7. Ten cards in hand, my hand is full. I'm gonna drop a Moonfire with the face here. 9 cards in hand. Alright. Then, what does the druid have? I'm thinking this is some kind of Highlander deck. I'm half expecting Zephyrus all the time. Because that 8/11 Ghidra has to be answered.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.